Hello, my name is Daniel Hendrickson. I'm from Farmland, Indiana, a small town about an hour northeast of Indianapolis. And I'm a large animal veterinarian that travels across the country to see my clients all the way from California to Indiana, to Kentucky, Ohio, Michigan, Oklahoma, and Texas. So as a veterinarian and as a livestock enthusiast, it was very easy to relate the things that we do and how we try to manipulate our animals, whether it's a show bear or whether it's a cow or a heifer, or whatever we're trying to do to change that body type and to be able to maximize the performance of that animal, the look of that animal, whether it's reduce the cover or fat content, whether it's to build muscle, whether it's just to make them feel better, to try to keep their gut right. And so it was very easy for us as we were driving one day, just kind of to talk about that and how that relates to us. And so we've never, the normal person doesn't treat their body like we do our livestock. And so why shouldn't we? Our bodies can react and perform just like we expect those animals to. And so just realizing that one day that, hey, eating the right things and feeding our body the things that our bodies react to the best, we can expect the best result.
Like when we talk about sustainability, it's not just the boredom of the food, it's also when we walk into a grocery store, we read the label. And Callyn, you said if you don't know what it is, and if this and this aren't the first 2 to 3 things on the label, you don't buy it. You have to understand what is in your food. And us being livestock producers and farmers, I grew up, my family was farmers, they still are today, that you eat things the way God made them, not processed. And it makes a lot of sense that way. And another aspect of the sustainability, if we're going out to dinner and we know that we want to eat something, then we balance something else, or then we change cardio to make sure that it's all about what goes in, what goes out, and what you want your performance of your body to be. So through the program, Callyn's taught us, one, how to read labels, what calorie content is good, because so many times people think deprivation is good, and actually energy can be fuel for your body to get a better result. I told Daniel just last week that I was having trouble getting my snacks in, and I said I could feel my body going to starvation mode, and I could see it on the scale because I was eating less calories, but my body was locking down. And that's another thing Callyn has taught us and had to change that mindset. So sustainability, not just to fall off the wagon after 90 days, but it is a lifestyle change.
So this summer during the challenge was extremely busy for me, for Talinda, for our family. Not only do we have 3 veterinary clinics that we run every day, taking care of our clients, servicing our clients, but also the kids being very active and busy this summer and traveling. And so we were at a lot of livestock shows this summer. It was challenging to be able to continue through this program and succeed, not being at home every day, not being able to have our equipment right there. So me and Talinda would take our bands with us. We've got some dumbbells that adjust, so we could take one set with us and adjust different weights so it'd work for both of us. And not only that, but also the food. We had to meal prep and do that. And so with me traveling every day on the road, I'd pack a cooler every day when we were home and traveling, or I was on the road going to see my clients, and I'd take my specific meals with me, keep them in the cooler, and so that alleviated me for having to stop and eat out somewhere where it wasn't a good food for me, but also just kept making sure I was getting the right amount of protein, the right amount of carbs, and those type of things I needed.
I think that was the big aha for me, is because people would ask, what are you doing? Where is she located? How often do you talk to her? How can that work? And I remember Dan and I were working out. We were at our Michigan veterinary clinic, and we were in the gym, and I sent you pictures, and then we had our meeting that morning. later that morning, and you're like, okay, one of two things is happening, and we need to wait to see if the first one happens, and if it doesn't, then we need to fix the second. And within 24 hours, the first happened. So you, from the pictures, you were able to tell by, like Daniel said, my inflammation, or where I was carrying extra water weight, what was going on with my body. It was really amazing to me that you could tell from my pictures and my check-in. And then we adjusted my diet, we moved forward, and it cleaned it up. But it was within 24 hours. You predicted one of two things was going to happen, and the first thing happened, and then we shifted. So that's a big deal.
You're going to learn to eat to feed your body and not eat to enjoy food. I mean, you want to enjoy food, but how your body reacts. And so that was, again, I brought that up earlier, but that's still one of the biggest things that hit me is, like we talked about in the livestock, is how we're feeding our body to see changes and to be healthy and to feel good and to live a lifestyle that we are happy with. So initially, I mean, when we started the challenge, we sent off the hair samples, and so within that hair samples, they can test and see what your sensitivity is to. So whether it's gluten, whether it's dairy, different fruits, different nuts, different meats. And so once we got that going, then my body, within 2 weeks, the aches and pains went away. I felt better, I was sleeping better. We figured out it was nightshade, and so as soon as we started cutting those things out that had nightshade in it, so yeah, Callyn would always keep asking me, are you tired? Or is your body recovering? How's your recovery? Are you sore? And I never really was. We found that my body reacts very, very good to protein, and so I was eating piles of meat every day. We figured out that my body reacts very, very good to protein. I was able to continue to get through the exercises, the cardio, the heavy lifting, and recover very, very quickly because of my elevated testosterone, because of the elevated meat consumption and how my body's reacting. I was able to see success very quickly.
I think a big thing for me too about the aha moment is what I learned is that the foods that you crave are not always the foods that are good for you. And that, like, fructose is a big one for me. And it's not even just, I've always loved candy. And of course that's not in my vocabulary now, but fructose can come in forms of like fruit. And so when I allowed my body to have just a bit of fructose, even if it was healthy fructose and blueberries or etc., I would crave it. So it was very interesting to me that some of the things I desired the most was what was not healthy for my body.
So yeah, even now that the challenge is over, I've got new goals. And so my new goals is not to go backwards. I don't want to ever be what I was 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago. I just want to continue to make myself even better, to feel better, to look better. I think if you're looking for anything to put back into yourself, I think that's one of the biggest things that me and Talinda both is we live very, very busy lives, but I also think it's very important that you invest in yourself. And this is probably one of the most important ways to put back into yourself is being healthy, making sure you're around long term for your spouse and for your kids. And it's amazing the energy that I'm able to have now to be able to do more with the kids and go out and work with them and just stay up later at night to be able to enjoy time after we get in from being outside and not feel like I've got to go to bed to be able to get extra hours of sleep that I really, really didn't need, but I was trying to compensate for just not feeling well. And so just knowing and seeing the results that other people have had in the challenge and the success that you can have and feeling pride about yourself on when you start really seeing those changes in your body and how you feel and just the amount of energy that you have every day.
you should run and not walk towards Callyn. I can't believe how many diets, things we've tried and we've fallen short, because they always tend to be quick fixes and then they don't last. And Callyn truly, truly does know what she's doing. And I'm trusting her with my whole entire family and their diet. And I think that if you just try with the right mindset that you want to invest in yourself and have a lifestyle change, it will work. She can get you. She is one of the smartest people we know, just to look at a picture and ask how I feel and make a change. And extremely good at motivating us. Because I remember with our check-ins, like, we want to do it right. We wanted her to say, wow guys, we're going, you're looking good. And we're both very competitive, we wanted to win. But even though I didn't win, I won. Because to see someone I care about that feels so good and so confident and so happy and so healthy, I know this is a great opportunity and I get to come along because you did win, but that's a bigger win for me than ever.
When I was 50 pounds bigger than I was
60.
right now,
You're
60,
Yeah.
I was very easily in a bad mood or would get angry easily, whether it was in the barn or at work or frustrated or at shows because of the stress. But I would say, since through the program this summer and be able to know that I'm happier with myself and feeling better, those are, if they are lived, they're very short-lived and very, very rare occurrences. The changes that we've made in our lifestyle and the way that we're eating and the way that we're taking care of our bodies has been able to let my mind work more efficiently, clear. I get tasks done a lot faster. I know what needs to be done and I'm able to get it done. There for a while I was forgetting a lot of stuff, having a lot of brain fog. Going through the program, going through the challenge this summer, one of the top 5 choices I've ever made in my life, as far as just told us during the entire challenge and advertised the Bahama trip and talked about this great trip that she was going to give the winner. And when we got here today and got to the airport and coming down and driving and seeing the ocean off to the left, coming down the street and then pulling into this amazing property, was just kind of, I guess I wasn't expecting quite this much. Pulling into this house and walking in the front door and then seeing the bright blue water and the pool, and the beach is right off the front of the house. It sits right on the beach in the Bahamas. So
Total Callyn style.
Yeah.
Total
Normal
Callyn style.
Yeah.
If you know her, this is how she does things.
If you're at a point in your life that you were like me 6 months ago and you're tired, you don't feel well, and you're ready to make a change, then joining the Callyn program, I promise you'll not regret it, and you'll be one of the best things that you've done for yourself.